Alright, so we're loading in now, and on the Radiant will be Classic Joker, and Thundercats will be playing on Dire. I believe Thundercats have first pick this game, although we'll see once we enter the draft. And before we get into the draft, since I will definitely forget to introduce these teams later, there's Maynard. On Classic Joker, who are playing Radiant, there's Maynard, Veyron, Boss, Charlie, Rose, and on the Dire, it's Scratch and Snarf, Carl Wizzle, Saltspire, Zim, and Senator Saltkus. So we'll see how these games turn out, how these teams draft, and at this level of the 80-12, there's a lot of kind of niche picks. Teams play their own strategy if they haven't adapted to the meta, and sometimes the meta just fits for a team in this. It's the same as like at the professional level. Some teams fare better in the meta than others, but most of these teams play strategies that they like and that they can play well and are very practiced with. So looking forward to seeing some pocket picks, and as always, I would love to see a techies because I know what I'm talking about kinda when I see techies. So looking forward to that, but it's probably not going to happen. So alright, here we go, and Thundercats do have first pick this game, and that is my team. So I apologize for that. That is my Steam going off. And Vengeful Spirit, the first ban from Thundercats, she is the most popular hero in the 82L with a 57% win rate. She's very, very strong right now, very popular. And Death Prophet, similar story, a popular and strong hero, and has been no surprise to see her moved. Invoker's still there, but Thundercats may choose to not ban it and maybe pick it for themselves, knowing that they have first pick, maybe force Classic Joker to ban the Invoker.
10 seconds remaining.
Kind of force a ban out of them, but
5 seconds remaining.
We'll see. Perhaps they just don't want to play the Invoker and don't want to play against it either, so they might just ban it out themselves and probably just don't want to use the hero or don't use the hero that much. So Classic Joker, there's still Gyrocopter, Dazzle, also very popular in this 82L, but if I think to really strong heroes, Outworld Devourer and Darkseer also still fairly strong, but OD, Gyrocopter, Chen, Lone Druid, Enchantress all still available, but heroes that aren't highly valued here usually, just the high skill cap heroes. There's also still, I can't remember, Oracle, but again, that hero very undervalued here in the 82L, and Thundercats going to grab the Slardar, a hero very popular with the teams here in the entry division, and often will be first picked or first banned, although sometimes it manages to slip through a draft unnoticed or just banned out later in the game or picked out later in the game. So still popular, and the amp damage just provides it provides you information, and it also helps with bursting down tanky heroes, or like if they have a Dragon Knight, a hero that can be kind of hard to burst down or hard to just right click down because of how much armor he gets thanks to his Dragon Blood, it helps, and it actually is pretty good against the Juggernaut too. You can kill him with right clicks through spin. So speaking of Juggernaut though, this hero, another extremely popular hero, and Dazzle, the same story, and that's going to help. The Dazzle is going to help negate the amp damage from the Slardar, although it's because of how Weave works, how it's such a slow build, it's still going to be really strong at the beginning of the duration of the Weave. So once, if they Weave right after the amp damage, it's not going to be that great, but if Weave has been going for a while, it will help negate a lot of damage. So let's see if Thundercats maybe want to try to find a hero like a Shadow Fiend later in the draft, something that synergizes really well with the minus armor, although they did take the Vengeful Spirit out themselves and are going to grab the AA to counter the Dazzle, and it's also a very good hero against the Juggernaut. You can slow down the push, and it's good against the Healing Ward and the Shadow Wave, and Thundercats ban out the Templar Assassin next, so a hero Slardar doesn't play very well against, AA is okay against. But so both these teams picking very strong openers. Although the Ancient Apparition pick, I really like it because it's very, very good against the Dazzle. Although it's okay, it's good against stopping the heal of the Dazzle, but Dazzle can just Grave to stop his teammates from popping. And Thundercats actually going to ban out the Shadow Fiend themselves, a hero I thought would have been really good for them, but choose not to use it in the end. And Classic Joker banning out the Ember Spirit, which probably pretty good considering they don't have very much
10 seconds remaining.
control for him. If you don't control an Ember Spirit, he can just split push the whole game,
5 seconds
throw a
remaining.
Remnant back at his like tower somewhere or near his team, push, farm, just accelerate his item progression, and then jump back when he really needs to be there to fight. Otherwise, you see the Travels build where they just walk all over the enemy team. Let me make sure I have my in-game mic on. Yes, so Ember Spirit, Shadow Fiend, Templar Assassin currently banned out in the second phase. Classic Joker, I guess the Undying was an okay ban, but
Radiant team pick.
I don't know if the Undying was going to be what Thundercats went for, and if it was, they'd have a very weak support duo for finding early kills. Classic Joker could use, they could take Oracle themselves, and even though it stops the healing, it's good against Slardar because it can purge the amp damage.
10 seconds remaining.
And let's see, what else could they grab?
5 seconds remaining.
They want to, but they go Witch Doctor, and that actually synergizes pretty well with the Dazzle.
Dire team
And it's one of the most, it's the second or third most popular hero in the 82L. Like, the top three are Dazzle, or are Venge, Dazzle, Witch Doctor. And then Earthshaker is number 4. So, all these heroes, not that surprising. And currently, the problem with the Witch Doctor, though, is that's more healing. And what would be like a really strong push with Witch Doctor,
10
Dazzle,
seconds
Jugs, with
remaining.
Weave, plus all that healing, can be stopped by a good AA Blast.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
there's a lot of pressure. On the other side, though, while AA Blast is down, they have a lot they need to be able to do. And Bane, probably to cancel the Witch Doctor ult, although I would have preferred to see something like a Shaker, long range cancel, some more team fight, and help set up the kills in the early game. Although, Bane does do a good... I mean, I wonder if they'll do a tri-lane. But we'll see. It could be Slaughter in the safe lane or an aggro try in the off lane, or Slaughter just solo off. But Classic Joker...
10
I
seconds
think they
remaining.
could grab, what would be really good here? Outworld Devourer,
5
still
seconds
in the
remaining.
pool. Very strong hero, can banish to deal with the AA, can banish the Bane.
Reserve time.
So offensive and defensive banish capabilities. And if you can't reach the Bane, you can just banish the teammate who is Fiend's Gripped. So I would really like to see Classic Joker grab an Outworld Devourer. I think it would be... I mean, it does pure damage, but you don't need to do physical damage just because you have minus armor on your team. So I would really like to see OD. There's not a lot of mids in the game right now that can deal with him that well. Plus, I mean, especially since the Invoker and the Shadow Fiend have been banned out, it's going to be... And Death Prophet, so 3 strong mid heroes taken out of the pool. And Templar Assassin also plays pretty well against OD, but they actually go the Wind Ranger, which... more ways to cancel the Fiend's Grip, more control, but... It's the burst damage I'm afraid of. Right now, there's not a lot of right clicks to dodge. And... yeah, Thundercats even neglecting right clicks at all for burst, so they're going to be able to burst down heroes very fast with the Morphling, and Morphling is, sometimes people refer to him as the poor man's Ember Spirit, because he'll just replicate, put a replicate back at base, or keep it near his team, and then just split push and farm the whole game, and jump to the replicate when a fight breaks out, or jump to the replicate when he gets ganked. And right now, the only real control they have, like reliable control, is the Shackle, and even that may fail to latch. In which case, the Morphling would just be able to walk all over this game. I think the lack of control from Classic Joker is something they need to worry about. And the Magical Burst, and not even Magical Burst, but... okay, Magical Burst. Waveform plus AA Blast plus Brain Sap. That's terrifying, and Zeus banned out. Would have been a really good hero with the AA, I suppose. And if the Morphling was split pushing, they could find kills with the Zeus ult plus Morphling Shotgun, and... you're going to take out the Tidehunter, so a teamfight initiator, but there's still a hero like Clockwork in the pool, and Classic Joker might want that, keep the Slardar trapped up, but Morphling, then again, it doesn't do anything really against the Morphling, it's just going to waveform out, so there is Axe, but I think Axe would have a rough time this game, Nightmared up, or Feeds Gripped while he taunts, and let's see,
10 seconds
Broodmother.
remaining.
They have some ways to deal with the Broodmother,
5 seconds
and it's
remaining.
kind of greedy. So I don't know if Classic Joker should grab that hero.
Reserve time.
Darkseer's been banned. Especially with Axe still in the pool. Thundercats could throw the Morphling mid and pick an Axe themselves, put it up against the Brood, and just ruin her life. Popular offlaners, it's kind of hard for me to think about that, actually. I need to watch more. Enchantress still available. Lone Druid might not be a bad choice. Do basically the same thing as the Morphling. But they're going to grab the Doom, so good against the Morphling. Although Morphling will probably just go a Linken's or have someone on his team go Linken's. And Thundercats, I think, looking for their mid lane hero. Oh, Outworld Devourer, I think, would be good for either of these teams. Massive damage, doesn't care about how tanky your heroes are, doesn't care about the healing, just tear through everyone. So I would really like to see an OD, especially with Shadow Fiend banned, and TA, and Invoker, and Death Prophet, and Ember Spirit. So with all those heroes banned, I think OD is probably the best choice for Thundercats, but maybe they disagree. So Thundercats still waiting to see what they end up going for, and very. I would like to see the Outworld, but Puck also might be okay, although Jugs does well against it. And if Puck gets doomed, things are really bad. OD at least can right click still. I mean, he doesn't get the Arcane Orb, but if they want a hero that plays well up against Doom, Razor might not be bad. And Viper, same story. If they get doomed, it doesn't matter. You go like a mech S and Y, you pop your ult, at least for Razor, you pop your ult, and you get doomed, and you just stay in the fight and right-click anyway. So it's a possibility, something they might consider. Although I think the OD just provides so much damage. You banish up the Wind Ranger while she's wind running, banish up the Juggernaut when he's trying to get in at you, banish yourself while he's Omni Slashing. So I would like to see OD. Puck is an okay option, but I think my hierarchy would be like Outworld, Razor, and then Puck. Queen of Pain, I don't like this game. It might be okay, but dangerous. I mean, the Wind Ranger, Shackle, and the Doom, so Queen of Pain might not be the best choice. And Wind Ranger plays decently up against Quap in lane. The Outworld, on the other hand, can just banish her when she tries to trade with Windrun. And they go for the Viper, so the hero is a decent choice, but I would much rather have seen Razor. But it's another hero that doesn't care that much about being doomed up. So Viper, tanky hero, should do okay in his lane, but Wind Ranger should also be okay. And the Wind Ranger has really good backup from the Dazzle and the Witch Doctor, so the rotations would be very, very good. Dazzle should always keep a TP on him and probably go Shadow Wave, Grave, and then just max Grave and Wave, ignoring the slow. I don't think it's going to matter this game. Slaughter will sprint away. Bane and AA aren't going to get away anyways if you get a cask. I mean, maybe you can get one value point in the slow. They did reduce its mana cost, but at the same time, I think Dazzle should just have maxed his W and his E so he can rotate and prevent kills around the map. So I'm going to introduce the teams once again. On Thundercats playing Dire, there is Saltspire playing the Viper, Madkus playing the Bane, Carwizzle playing the Slardar, their captain Snarf on Morphling, and Zim on the Ancient Apparition. And on the other side of the map, Classic Joker playing Radiant. There is, I'm just going to call him Yamp, playing the Dazzle, Veyron on Witch Doctor, Arg, Doom, Zaviesta playing Wind Ranger, and Rose on the Juggernaut. So let's see how this game turns out. And it's kind of hard to call. I mean, Classic has better AoE, but at the same time, Thundercats could just run a very gank split pushing oriented lineup. You just have the Morphling split push. You have the Viper go a mech S and Y, and you can probably take some fights 4v, like smoke up aggressively, gank once Slaughter gets blink, and just pick off heroes and then try to fight like that. So Thundercats has their options open to them. Wait till they get their Morphling to be like Godzilla, and then bring him into the fights. But I think that's how they should play it, because in team fights up against Doom, Weave, Omni Slash, Spin, Grave, Shadow Wave, and Death Ward and Cask, and Shackle Shot, I think team fights will be very hard for Thundercats to take at the start, just from the kinds of heroes they have. But they do, I think, just split push with your morph, go the Boots of Travel into E-Blade build, or actually probably Boots of Travel Yasha E-Blade, or maybe Yasha Boots of Travel E-Blade if you want some more damage and some better farming capability. At least that's what I would like to see. They might have a different idea, a completely different game plan, whereas Classic Joker, it feels like they want a Death Ball with all of that healing that they have, and the Windrunner, and even Doom has some good healing, but again, this AA pick could just throw a wrench into all of that. So Classic Joker, gonna have to be a little bit careful, I think. Maybe got, the AA pick was very smart from Thundercats, but it depends on him landing good ultimates on at least 2 or 3 heroes. At least like the Wind Ranger and the Juggernaut need to be hit, so that they can kill those heroes very, very quickly. And give me one sec while it's paused, I'm going to promote myself. Alright, so we're still paused up, and Windrunner will be okay for at the start of the game, I think. I mean, they actually don't have, I guess if she gets nightmared when windrunning, but at the same time, and this is why I would really prefer like an Outworld pick, a hero that can just be like, oh, you're windrunning, cool, or even Puck would have been good. Just while she's windrunning, just negate the effect with a Dream Coil, which is like a 70-second cooldown, so not terribly long at all, or something like an OD Banish. But unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but Thundercats did think that the Viper was the better choice, and it is a very tanky hero, and it's a hero that can play around Doom a lot better than, say, an OD. So that's probably what they were thinking about. They were like, we want to deal with the Doom, so let's pick a Viper. Because Viper does not care about getting doomed. They want to just run him in there, get him doomed up probably, and just keep going with the fight. Not concerned with him being doomed. So let's see now. Doom is going to be in the off lane. This looks like it's going to be a tri-lane. The Dazzle, Juggernaut, and Witch Doctor. So this is going to be a pretty good tri-lane. Juggernaut shouldn't ever die. It's like Slardar's going to be solo off lane, and and Thundercats will be doing a tri-lane of their own. So let's see. There's a little bit more kill potential here. Lots of burst from the waveform, but I think the Bane should play a lot like a Dazzle would. Just always be ready to rotate. The AA, I think, should mostly stay in lane, stack camps, pull, find levels, get level 6 as fast as possible, and rotate the Bane a lot. Maybe find a kill, and because Doom will be very hard to kill once he gets levels in Scorched Earth. So I think both teams need to keep their supports open for rotating, because neither of these safe laners should die to the person that they're up against. Like, Jugs shouldn't die to Slardar solo, and Morphling shouldn't die to Doom solo. And both mid lanes getting the bounty rune, so it's going to be completely even. And pulling up the last hits, and we'll see how this game goes. AA blocking for the Viper in mid, whereas Wind Ranger did not get a block at all. So, well played from the AA there. Getting a really good block right here. Creeps meeting right at high ground, so Viper has a slight advantage. Looks like Blue Doom also was unable to find a block, but he wants to eat this camp and is going to find a Centaur. Not the best creep form. I think like a Satyr or a Wild Wing Ripper, the bird, would be good for the auras. So Slardar might be in a little bit of trouble if there's good cast bounces. It'll be problematic for him. Like, he could die with good cast bounces, just thanks to the damage of spin being so very, very high. Whereas in the mid lane, I think it'll just be like a farm trade for both heroes. Unless someone rotates, and even if some people rotate, the supports on either side can rotate to make a save, especially the Dazzle and the Bane. So none of these this laning phase looks like it's going to be pretty light in terms of action. Doom just basically jungling, and that's probably the right choice. Gets pinged out by the Bane. Maybe they're going to go block his camp, and they don't have a ward to do so, but they do know that he must be doing that. And Thundercats pinging out this Dazzle, doing the pull, but Witch Doctor standing on the side, making sure that this pull goes through. And Dazzle did get heal. The creep wave ended up dying, so Slardar shouldn't be in too much danger, can always sprint away. And this is a very aggressive Witch Doctor build, and I've seen this a lot in the 82L. They go for the points in Malediction, as opposed to getting max points in Voodoo Restoration. And I actually would rather, I think in this game the Maledict is okay because you're up against the Ancient Apparition. So the Bane gets pinged out, and yeah, the Slardar, he has Salve, and he's probably just going to pop it right after Maledict ends, and able to stick in his lane for a little while longer. As for last hits though, Juggernaut getting basically free farm, but Morphling, same story in a completely empty lane here. Doom did find level 2, has the attack speed aura from the Hellbear Smasher, but is this going to be enough for him? It's so dangerous though. Like the way that they're doing this lane, Bane is going to try to block it, and he did block this 3-minute spawn. So Doom going to be unable to find some free farm, and Ancient Apparition finding that ward, able to kill off that, get a little bit more XP for him, and it's very important he gets his level 6. AA's ult, I think, is probably the most important level 6 for Thundercats in this game. It hurts. It just does so much damage to Classic's draft. Like the Witch Doctor loses some value, the Dazzle loses some value, the Juggernaut healing ward negated for 7 seconds. It will really stop Deathball if that's what Classic want to do. So Nightmare is just gonna brain sap him and walk on off, but lane's going probably better for Thundercats. I think Thundercats winning the lanes is, at least winning a couple of their lanes is very important, and no one's really winning that hard yet, although Viper 10 CS ahead of this Wind Ranger. Level 5 has boots on the way, so Viper the kind of hero that would be getting level 6 and then making a rotation. Cask is bouncing, but it's not going to bounce more than once, so he should be able to walk away from this, just taking a little bit of harass, and yeah, he won't get that low from it. It's only, is it rank 1 Maledict or is it level 2? No, he's level 2 Cask. Okay. Viper just trying to zone up this Wind Ranger and doing a pretty good job, forcing out a defensive Wind Run. She's not able to trade anymore, and she's going to go for find the bot rune, and it's going to be a double damage, so supports up here doing a good job zoning them out, but I think it's important that the AA finds levels. Double damage now bottled up on the Wind Ranger, so Viper could be in danger, although Viper very close to level 6. Wind Ranger 2 though. And now CS Juggernaut has caught up to the Viper and is pulling a little bit ahead, so we'll probably see them. I think this Jugs will probably go what has become the standard Battle Fury build, and Doom now could be in trouble, and it actually looks like he is going to go down trying to TP but unable to do so. The Chilling Touch just doing so much damage, and Thundercats just finding themselves the first blood, and that's pretty good for them. Doom still level 4, and Snarf level 5 on the Morphling, and once he hits 6, probably not going to get points in Replicate till later, but we'll be getting free levels, free farm, and that kill going to give him some gold too, so this Morphling could end up being problematic, as Classic do not have a lot of ways to deal with split push, especially if the Morphling goes for a Lincoln Sphere. Juggernaut taking up a lot of the creep wave, but Dazzle is there, has a salve if they want to use it, and yeah, Juggernaut going to salve himself up. Slardar finishing his Tranquil is level 4, same level as the Doom, but more importantly has not died. An Illusion Rune on Viper, but probably not going to be able to find a kill with it. Wind Ranger activating her double damage rune, and might make a rotation, but Slardar trying to find farm up here, and now could be in trouble, but no casket bounces. Wind Ranger rotating. In fact, 5 heroes at bot for Classic, and if they don't kill this Slardar, that's disastrous. Yeah, Slardar just going to be able to sprint away, and maybe has pinged something out. Yes, in fact, they do catch. They spot out all 5 heroes bot, but Doom seems like he's just in the jungle now, and going to decide to give Morphling the free lane. So that rotation, a lot of time wasted for Classic. Wind Ranger level 6, Viper level 7, and Viper pulling even further ahead of her in CS. Morphling and Juggernaut very close in last hits, but Morphling about a full level ahead of the Juggernaut, who is sitting on top of 2k gold, so both these heroes have a lot of money, and we'll see what he chooses to go for. I imagine he's just going to grab the Perseverance from the side shop, unless he wants to do that like awkward, cheesy Radiance build, so you spin on people and they die from all that AoE damage. But I suspect this will be the more standard Battle Fury, possibly the battle build where they go S and Y and like drums and phase. Juggernaut sitting on a lot of gold. Dazzle has an Orb of Venom now. They really want to zone out this Slardar. Bane making stacks, but may have pulled a little soon. Yes, he pulled a little bit too soon. Morphling sitting on 1200 gold, finishing his power treads now, so he's not going to go the split push travels build. Going to probably do a more battle-oriented build. Maybe he'll go Yasha next and just get some fighting items, try to fight early. Viper, still not sure where he's going to go. Could go for the mechanism, would be very good for his team. Allow them to take fights they otherwise wouldn't be able to, but Slardar still very far off from his BKB, or sorry, Blink Dagger. Gonna harass up, so Juggernaut taking a lot of harass and does in fact go the Perseverance at the side shop. Will be going Battle Fury, and it should be a fairly timely one at that. Perseverance, and with the Dazzle there, going to give him quite a bit of lane sustain. Wind Ranger trying to farm up this stack, it looks like, and actually they find yet another kill top on the Doom. Same setup as last time, Nightmare plus Waveform, now max rank, so a lot of damage, 325, and this aggro tri lane going very well for Thundercats, whereas the one at bot lane doesn't seem to have paid off quite yet. Slardar not completely uncontested, or not completely underfarmed, and although there is Omni Slash ready, so he's gonna have to back off, but is actually able to trade with this Dazzle pretty well. Witch Doctor seems to have rotated up top to help the Doombringer, and Slardar's got to be careful. There is Omni Slash, but the creep wave is near enough that it may not be able to find the kill. Plus, Slardar does have 9 armor, so that could also help. With his Tranquil Boots, Slardar will heal up to full health very, very soon, and Phase Beat's now finished on the Juggernaut, so he may try to make aggressive plays. Bane and AA farming up the stack together. Both these heroes need some levels and are not doing a terrible job finding them, but the sooner the AA hits 6, the better. Doom has an Iron Talon trying to catch up, while Assault Spire just sitting on top of, yep, going the mechanism, so now we know what he's going to buy. And Wind Ranger going for Phase Boots. Just trying to slowly farm this up while she hangs out over here, so trying to maximize her farming efficiency, but still a little bit behind the Viper, and Morphling at the top of the CS just a little bit. Those kills also going to help a lot for Morphling. He is going to be going Lincoln Sphere as his first item, it appears, so the battling build. But if his Lincolns gets delayed by too much, it could backfire pretty hard on his team, as there's not... He has lots of magical burst, but his right clicks will be pretty weak. Yeah, damage now. Rose could be hit pretty hard with a crush, and yeah, Slardar doing a fair bit of damage. Rose going to spin up, and in fact, Carwizzle, this is going to turn around on him, and I expect Omni Slash to come out. Yep, Omni Slash to ensure the kill, and Rose going to walk off to the side and run around the tower. Able to make it to safety, pops the healing ward, and will be completely fine. And at the same time, though, top lane, they are pushing it in, so could be a tier 1 trade here. Rose trying to find some farm, clear this creep wave out. looks like someone teleported. Did Bane teleport to mid? That's what it seems like happened, but looks like this bot tower might be in trouble anyway. No Omni Slash ready. And now 3 heroes at top. Invisible Wind Ranger. But seems like Thundercats know something's up. They're gonna hang back a little bit. Wind Ranger level 9 now. Max Shackle, max Power Shot. Might try to go for something, but her Invis Ring wearing off right now, so might get spotted out in the end.
Radiant's middle
Bot tower,
is under
but
attack.
Thundercats have to be very careful. Losing their Morphling would be pretty bad. They can't really afford to lose that hero. I think he needs to have a very good start, and Mechanism basically complete for Viper, so Salt's Pyre already completing one of his core items, and looks like a tower dive might be on the way. Doom onto the Morphling. Rotations coming in. Might be too late. They may not be able to find anything in the end. Viper ult ready, but not quite in range yet. Wind Ranger has Wind Run, but gets hit by the Viper ult. Gonna try to TP out, and are they gonna be able to cancel Nightmare? But no, unfortunately they do miss, and both teams devoting a lot to that. Although Witch Doctor finding some farm, finding some levels at bot lane, will have Death Ward right now, so very important for Witch Doctor to have gotten that. Especially because Bane and Ancient Apparition still only level 5. Mechanism now completed on the Viper. Going to be very hard for Classic to fight into this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bane doing some D-warding, going to give him some XP. Viper has a DD rune now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top tower looks like it could be in trouble. Doom, unfortunately, I don't think that dive was ever going to work, but Thundercats just farming up this Morphling. He has Perseverance, and if he keeps farming up the way he has been, he will have the Lincolns fairly soon. So now rotating their heroes up. Doom down for 40 seconds. Although 2 more heroes on the way. Perhaps they probably were spotted out by this ward, so Thundercats know something's up, and they have 3 heroes in the area. They pull their wave back, which force Classic to come to them, and Ancient Apparition might be in trouble, although they have their heroes in position. Shackle Shot online, max rank.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The AA definitely gets Nightmared up, so might not quite go down. They need to pop the Nightmare on the Wind Ranger, and misses the Shackle Shot, but Death Ward on the way, so Thundercats have to be very careful. Snarf taking a ton of damage, but the Mechanism just keeping everyone very healthy, and now the Witch Doctor in trouble, slowed up and taking so much damage from the Viper. The DD rune doing work. Casket comes out, but probably not going to save him, and that Mechanism doing so much work, making Snarf back to full health, and that's just the power of a hero like the Viper getting an early Mechanism. Despite what looked like a very good fight for Classic, it didn't really look that good. I think it was a very greedy dive, especially considering all those heroes were there, and with the mech ready, Viper able to TP, so good rotations from Salt's Pyre, and things looking very, very good for Thundercats. They're going to be winning a team fight and claiming a tier 1 tower, although Rose free farming, only 600 gold away now from his Battle Fury.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dire's
AA
middle
going
tower
for the
is
Midas,
under
which is
attack.
very common on this hero and very smart, and
Dire's
actually going to be pretty quick for an AA.
fortified.
Thundercats smoked up. We're not spotted out by any wards, and it's gonna be bad. Wind Ranger might be caught out. Bane has Fiend's Grip now. They see her, and she's just probably gonna run away, get to safety, but Snarf ready to fight. Could get doomed up though. They
Dire's
have
middle
the Fiend's
tower
Grip,
is
but there's a
under
lot of
attack.
ways for Classic to cancel it. Classic really, Thundercats not really in a position. Might take a similar kind of fight, but Wind Ranger going to be in serious trouble now and going to melt to all of that damage. The Witch Doctor ult comes out, but not doing that much damage. They're not able to cancel it, and the Crush to cancel, and Snarf just gets a triple kill, so tons of damage coming out. Doom on the Slaughter, but maybe not the target they were looking for, and now Arc could be in trouble. Doom going to go down slowly and just gets bashed up. 4 heroes dead, and a triple kill for Snarf. Things going very well, and before long he will have his Lincoln Spear. So Thundercats in complete control of this game, playing very, very well, canceling those death wards, and this Mechanism keeping them all fully healthy. And Classic was the team that was supposed to have the better sustain.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Thundercats doing very well. Midas completed on their Ancient Apparition. Snarf now able to afford his ultimate orb, and not much. Not actually that far off from his Lincolns now, probably only 600 gold. So take a peek at the net worth. Looking very good for Thundercats with the Morphling and the Viper at the top. Wind Ranger only just ahead of the Slardar, and Slardar will have a blink before long. The Crush comes out, but do they have enough damage with just these two heroes? Are they going to rotate people in? And this Doom taking a lot of damage. Nightmared up. Crush cooling down in 1 second, so he could... Oh, but it does cancel, and they are going to be able to catch him. But the cast to bounce, and not... Oh, just barely enough, but they are going to lose 2 heroes, but Slardar may be in trouble from... Nope, Mechanism, and now fully healthy once again, so... Thundercats doing a very good job rotating, maximizing the effectiveness of this mechanism, able to save lots of heroes, and just playing very well, especially compared to the last week when I cast them. They did not play this well, but they are a completely different team this week, and total control, knowing exactly what they want, finding every little thing that they need to get ahead. Battle Fury completed on this Juggernaut could be problematic, but Thundercats sitting in 8k gold advantage, so that might not be enough, and now Lincoln Sphere should just about be ready for this Morphling. Last creep wave should do the trick, and then he's going to be very hard to kill, as most of Classic's lockdown is that point and click, and with the Lincolns it's going to be difficult, especially if they miss the Doom on him. Very fast Lincolns on this Morphling. Spot out the Juggernaut, he could be in trouble. Heroes are rotating. Ice Blast going to just barely miss, and now Classic Rose might just want to TP out, and he is going to just TP to safety. So now that Morphling has that extra bit of survivability, an extra layer of defense, might see him go for some more damage items like a Yasha, a Manta. That's actually probably going to be his next item. I would say Manta style. Sometimes they like to go like a Yasha into an E-Blade, and I expect we will see an E-Blade this game. It'll be another tool to kill off this Wind Ranger while she's Wind Running, and speaking of Wind Ranger, she could be in trouble now. A Blast on the way. It does connect on the Wind Ranger. The Shackle does not latch. She could be in trouble. Death Ward on the high ground, but not quite going to be able to find a kill. This mechanism is doing so much, and Slardar able to afford a Blink Dagger now. They do find one pick. Probably not the hero they wanted, but it's another kill added to their collection and their ever-mounting lead. Just a small gold boost for them. And Ancient Apparition. That Midas going to help them a lot, and now that they have the Blink Dagger on the Slardar, even more ways to catch enemy heroes. Juggernaut able to walk away, grabs a DD rune, gonna heal up slowly with his healing ward. And Ranger has an item on the way. Is it gonna be enough though? It's just her point booster. She's pretty far behind and would probably at least want 1 or 2 more pieces of her eggs right now. They ping out the ancient stack, and Thundercats might look to try to get this. Juggernaut just trying to cut up the waves and create as much space as he can for his team, TPing out to safety. Juggernaut ahead of the Viper now in CS, but Morphling being a part of so many kills does have a slight gold lead. I think Roshan should be something Classic look towards. They have a good lineup to do it. Should probably get a medallion on their Dazzle and then go towards Roche, because they need some kind of advantage in these fights, some kind of edge. So Thundercats playing very, very well so far, dominating this game and also playing very cautious, very patient, not going on the other side of the map without vision or smokes, and they really don't want to throw away this lead. So very well played so far from Thundercats. But Doom now dedicated to the Viper, and this is just the strength of that hero. He does not care that he has been doomed. Crush now, and Doom in serious trouble, but Omni Slash bouncing, and Slardar could be in trouble, but sprinting away, trying to get away, just barely able to escape, and maybe not gonna be able to find this kill. Crush, and now Classic Rose is the one in trouble. They turn it on him. Doom going down, and Juggernaut. It's a huge kill on the Juggernaut, so he really just wanted to try to build some momentum, but has lost it. Viper Strike comes out on Dazzle. Dazzle has no grave, and going to go down as well. So 3 down for Thundercats. Well played. Good use of the mechanism, and Slardar baiting with the Crush. Good idea. Just well played from everyone, and Classic Rose getting a little bit ahead of himself, and Thundercats once again taking another fight in a dominating fashion without losing any heroes at all. Who's the one hero that died? They've only killed Slardar once, and that was 10-ish minutes ago, 12-ish minutes ago. And now Thundercats going to claim this stack. Insult to injury, another prize for them to take, and they might even think about doing Roche with this amp damage. Dragonlance on the Viper, so interesting item pickup, but not bad. I would still really like to see him go in SNY. But Thundercats well positioned to make sure that they can get this, and Classic unable to do anything but watch as their stack is taken. Weaved up, they might try to get some revenge, find some return kills. The cast comes out, but now Windranger's Shackle and Viper could be in trouble. Mechanism is ready, and that was a good 3-man crush, and they look like they might just disengage. AA Blast coming, connecting on 2 heroes, so losing all that healing, but the Death Ward out, Snarf finally going to go down, so Classic able to find a huge kill, but Classic Rose could be in trouble, but the AA Blast going to time out, and now it looks like the Viper's the one to go down, but Brain Sap to kill off him, and that's still a good trade so far for Classic Joker. They're very happy with that, got a lot of gold from those 2 kills. But they did still lose their Ancient Stack, and Blink Dagger now finished on Bane. Yet another way for Thundercats to find fights. Will that be enough, especially since they did trade their Juggernaut for it? Is the fight recap going to pop up, or is it just not? There it is. So huge gold swing from just 2 kills from Classic Joker, and that's just the nature of combat gold, so things looking a little bit better for them. The gold graph swinging just back under 10k, so very, very well played so far from Thundercats, and executing their draft flawlessly, finding lots of kills, and doing tons of work. Although they did lose their 2 cores and gave away a lot of gold, so things might start to turn back in favor towards Classic. They're certainly not out of this game just yet. Yasha almost completed on the Juggernaut, going for the SNY, but his farm doesn't feel like it's as fast as it should be. Given he does have the Battle Fury, it feels like he should at least have the Yasha by now. He did get the Battle Fury around 15-16 minutes. They're going to find all of these wards. Bane might get spotted out. Classic ward, their ward here not going to get blown up, so might find something. Looks like the AA Blast flying top, but not really going to find anything. Maybe just going to try to get some last hits or something like that. Snarf going for the E-Blade as his next item. And the Ghost Scepter going to help a lot against this Classic team. Doom has Drum sitting on 2k gold. Maybe going to go the Blink. Maybe going to go an Ags or a Vlad. Some utility items to help out his team. He is 0-6, so having a very rough game, this Doombringer. But perhaps to no fault of him, is Thundercats playing very, very well. And now Juggernaut in trouble. Fiend's Grip ready. His team on the way. And now Fiend's Grip and just the good combination and good communication from Thundercats find a pickoff on the Bane. Bane and AA, the support duo of Thundercats. Madkus and Zyme just playing very well and making a lot of things happen for his team. And this AA, very close to an Aghanim Scepter, will be very fast. And that item will be devastating against Classic Joker. The 17-second duration, that is a lot of damage. And a very long time that they don't get any benefit from this Dazzle heal or the Witchstock Voodoo Restoration, and in fact he is forsaking any points at all in Voodoo Restoration this game. They find that ward and maybe they want to try to do Roshan, but pinged out. Is Classic going to smoke up? Do they have one? They have a smoke available if they want to smoke up and try to contest this Rosh, but with the Slaughter there waiting in the wings, going to try to amp damage. And that's the Bane Illusion. It's so tanky, it just... They blew a lot there and just gave away their positioning, so Thundercats may be ready to back off. And now a DD win on the Morphling. This is a fight that Classic do not want to take, and Roshan going to disappear under the weight of this Thundercats team. And this Morphling, already very hard to kill, has become even harder to bring down. Viper going for an Aghanim Scepter, wants to spam out these ults and now smoke up, no vision, and they might find this. Windranger. Blink Dagger on the Bane to Nightmare her. She does get Nightmare, but unfortunately the crush fails, and Doom on Bane. Slaughter trying to sit around in the fight. AA Blast connects on Windranger, and she's going to die very fast to this burst damage. The Viper Strike, and then the Morphling. Is she going to go down here? She might just barely survive, although she could bring down at the last pop. No, she is going to get away. Pops the regen rune and gets to safety, but Slaughter pursuing and going to crush her, and good cask and shackle there, but not quite in time, and Slaughter going to walk away, and will probably could take damage. He does have 12 wand charges, so should not die here. I think really needs to pop that wand and should in fact survive that last tick of the malediction. So another clean pick-off and clean fight for Thundercats. Just snowballing out of control. This Morphling almost too big to fail, closing in on his F-Blade, and that will be tons of damage coming out. Windrun no longer going to be able to save him. Rose trying to split push, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Rose just going to TP to safety. Magic's gonna try to find some farm. AA, level 12, level 11, rank 2 ult, and now has his Aghanim Scepter. So lots to see. The damage here, 17-second duration, 20 damage per second. So 340 damage over the duration. Plus, if you get hit by the burst, so something like 700 damage from the AA blast if you get hit by the burst plus the other thing. And unfortunately, they're not able to catch Doom going for a Pipe of Insight. Good choice here, especially against the AA. I think that was very smart itemization. Will also help with the Morphling damage. And Morphling just going to leave the jungle and go farm some. Oh, crush on the Dazzle, amp damage just in time, and Dazzle graves himself up. Not gonna try to TP, but it will get cancelled by the Morphling, and another pick for the Dazzle, and they're going to lose their ward. That's the F-Blade for the Morphling now. Thundercats still with one of their tier 1s, and both their tier 2s don't even need to save for buyback, something they're probably not even thinking about. 3-22, and the gold graph just massively in their favor. XP, similar story. Just the levels of classic Joker's heroes just not enough. The support's very underleveled compared to that of Thundercats, and I don't know why he F-bladed right there. Maybe just messing around. Some BM F-blades. F-blades. So very well played so far from Snarf. He's 7-1, and Salt's Pyre using that mech to great effect and winning lots of fights for his team. Classic Joker struggling to find what they need. The Juggernaut, the only one with any items, is Sange on the way it looks. So SNY finally complete, but he's still a little anxious about this and going to TP out. Not risk the Morphling popping up and finding that extra kill. So Morphling gonna just stay bot push. Still has Aegis. Aghanim's now finished on Wind Ranger, so some big items coming out, but at the same time, big items for Thundercats as well. Force Staff on the Slardar, Ag's almost done on the Viper, Ag's done on the Ancient Apparition, and Bane has a Blink and a Glimmer, so is it going to be enough? And this F-Blade, this Wind Ranger is going to die very quickly to his magical burst damage. Windrun will not save her. They do concede that bot power, and I think that was the right play. Tier 2s, a lot of teams want to defend their tier 2s, but it's not always the right play. A lot of the time, you should actually just let your tier 2 go because you're usually fighting up high ground. Especially if you don't have fortification and you don't have really good initiation. And that's a problem Classic are suffering from, is they lack ways to really start these fights. I mean, Doom doesn't have Blink, so unless they get a really good shackle from far away, Thundercats can just walk away from the fight. Whereas Thundercats have lots of ways to take fights. They have the Blink Bane, Morphling's Waveform, Blink on Slardar, AA Blast. They have lots of ways to get in there and just slaughter these heroes of Classic. Morphling probably not going for a Manta style. More agility, get some more burst damage. I expect it to be a Manta style, so I really don't think anything else makes sense.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Stack here. Looks like someone's going to come farm it. Looks like Viper's on the way. Once he farms this, he will have his Aghanim Scepter, able to throw that ult out every few seconds in these fights and wreak havoc on the heroes of Classic and kite them even more than they already are even more than they currently are. AA in a little bit of a dangerous position. Dazzle needs to be careful not to get hit by an AA blast. He could just die to that. See, this is bad. The AA of Thundercats is ahead of the Wind Ranger and the Doom of Classic. So things are looking very grim for them and building an ever-mounting gold lead. Only a couple times has it swung slightly back in favor of Classic. For Classic to come back, and it's getting harder and harder for them to do so, they need to make sure Thundercats don't get this next Roche. Smoke up and find pickoffs on Viper's too tanky, Morphling's too tanky, maybe get the Slardar, maybe get the... Just kill off the supports, find some kills, stack up your jungle, get your Juggernaut a lot of farm, and get him the next Aegis. Wind Ranger needs to build a BKB, and this AA Blast doing so much damage. Dazzle does have Grave ready. Morphling also... Doom also afflicted by the AA Blast, so that AA Blast just doing work. Snarf has Yasha completed. And another item on the way for this, and that's it's the defensive Ghost Scepter, so gonna be even hard to even kill this Ancient Apparition in team fights. Juggernaut TP'd out there, trying to cut the wave as best he can. Or someone tried to cut the wave up there, it seemed. Juggernaut split pushing bot lane. AA gonna go defend. Needs to be careful. But might try to bait out this Omni Slash, knowing that he has Ghost Scepter. So Rose gonna just back off. Has a TP ready, but Thundercats really not afraid of anything. Slardar waiting in the back, and Juggernaut gonna go blink. So he's definitely. I think that was the right choice in this game. He needs to just push, create space, and try to force Thundercats back. Buy time for his team. It's gonna be very hard to do this game though. Snarf TPing out, going back to base, grabbing his Yasha. Even more agility, even more damage. This F-Blade going to hit like a truck. So Gem now on the Bane. Now it's time for Thundercats to take the map control away from Classic, and they were already lacking map control anyways. If this AA ever hits level 16, I think he just needs to Ghost Scepter and TP. And now Juggernaut in trouble. Fiend's Grip, Viper Strike, and not going to be able to TP out thanks to that Fiend's Grip. So Classic Rose getting a little greedy and not quite going to be able to TP. The damage just too high, and no Juggernaut for 1 minute. Thundercats might try to make a move. Roshan should be respawning in 30 seconds. And double damage there, so Thundercats might look to take Roche. It might just be perfectly timed for them to take that. And once they get that, I think it's just over for Classic. Because once they get the Aegis on the Morph, who's already pretty much impossible to kill, he has 30 armor. There's not that much magic damage. He has a Lincoln Sphere and a mechanism backing him up. So things looking very grim for Classic. In fact, I would venture to say this game is pretty much over. I mean, I've seen bigger comebacks, but Thundercats playing very well, very safe, very smart, not letting themselves get picked off, and the Ancient Apparition baiting out that Juggernaut. Blink Dagger now on Viper, yet another tool to catch out the heroes of Classic, and Vlad's on the Slaughter are going to be a very big item. Pipe popped, they want to take this tower. Although, will they even be able to claim this? Thundercats say no, we don't want you to even get this tower. Ranger taking a lot of damage from the Viper Strike, but the Pipe able to save her there, and not even save her, but negate a lot of that damage. She does survive, able to walk away, but this tower in deny range. Yeah, Thundercats choose to deny it, or perhaps not. It's like they are going to deny their mid tower and deny some gold to Classic. Roshan is ready. I wonder. I think they should have this. I think they should just at this point have the Morphling replicates inside the Roche pit at all times, so that they know, because they know it's coming up at some point. And there's the catch that Classic really need, and with that Blink Dagger plus the Wind Ranger, they might be able to find some kills. But still looking very grim, and if Thundercats just peep their heads into the Roche pit, Juggernaut gonna dodge the AA Blast and TP to safety. He knows they must be on the way. So things looking pretty bad. Rose still standing around, might be able to find the Slardar. Slardar blinks away, and it's going to push out this creep wave. All of Thundercats in position at bot lane. Rose needs to be careful. Waiting off on the side is going to just hide out over here. And I don't know if TP or what the game plan is here. Rose just creating some space, I guess. Snarf has Manta completed now, so even harder to bring down. I imagine his next item after will be a Scotty. Just some damage and even larger amounts of tank. They know Roshan is up. Thundercat's going to make the move on it. And Snarf does have room to put that Aegis into his inventory. And this Roshan dying very quickly. Classic smoked up. Unfortunately going the wrong way. A fight here at the Roche pit could be just what they need, but they went the wrong way and are going to be unable to find it. And Roshan now on the Morphling, even Classic turning around, realizing their mistake. Their smoke's going to be wearing out soon, and do they want to take a fight up against this Morphling with the Aegis? 2k gold on the Ancient Apparition. Snarf just using that on himself for whatever reason. Witch Doctor very far off from his Aghanim Scepter. Item progression on Classic just isn't there. Even the supports on the side of Thundercats very, very fed. Snarf 5k gold now ahead of this Juggernaut, so Classic need to just win the next few high ground fights, and if Thundercats didn't have the Aegis, I could see them claiming a fight on high ground. I could see it happening, but he has the Aegis, so he's just going to sit there with the Viper next to him, and they're just going to pressure, and
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rose trying to push there, but seeing him not there, they might just try to take a fight. And yeah, that looks like exactly what they're going to do. Viper doomed up, gets shackled to the Slardar, so things looking good. Juggernaut able to TP in, Morphling unable to cancel that, and this fight looking pretty bad for Thundercats so far, already losing the Viper. Slardar very low, but Morphling now back to full health and just doing tons of damage. His F-Blade not quite ready, able to pop it now, might just burst up one of these heroes. And Juggernaut died so fast, has buyback ready, so they could come back and claim this. Only the Viper went down, and in fact, the AA Blast ult killing the Witch Doctor in the base. Buyback available on both these heroes, but it looks like at least one set of one Rax is going to die. They get their melee Rax, and it looks like he might have overstayed his welcome and gets blown up instantly by the Morphling shotgun and the AA. They do get the Bane, but that might be all that they find, although AA in trouble, gets force staffed away. Slardar might try to save him. Crush comes out, Morphling just going back for the Rax, just his team creating so much space, kiting them forever. Blink Dagger cooling down soon, and they really want this AA, but Morphling probably should have pushed, I would have pushed this in and got Rax. That would have probably been the correct play. I mean, he should be safe. Like, let's see, TP, 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 but can just run away. So that probably would have been a little bit better. So decent, really good fight for Classic. That should be a slight gold swing back up in their favor, although Morphling did not go down. And they did have to buy back on the Juggernaut and the Witch Doctor? Yes, buy back on Juggernaut and Witch Doctor. Things going very, very well so far for Thundercats. 38 minutes, and they're just going to continue to build a lead. Juggernaut sitting on 2k gold, no buyback available, so interested to see what he goes for. Bane did lose the gem, unless they managed to pick it back up. No, the gem should be on someone on Classic. Where's the gem? Bane died. Did they get the gem on the courier? Where did the gem go? One of these teams has to have this gem. Or not, apparently. Interesting. Curious. Snarf closing in on an Eye of Scotty, and then it will be pretty much impossible to bring him down. Just farming up the enemy jungle, taking that away from Classic. They're not even able to farm their own jungle. Dune sitting on 3k gold, but wants to stay for buyback. Has 2k surplus though, so might end up going for something at some point. He's travel now on the Morphling and or on the AA, and AA trying to TP out, might just make it. So well played from Zim, keeping a cool head, and unfortunately Shackle was expended earlier in order to try to get the latch on it, but since it did not latch, it was able to TP to safety. Viper going to be going for the Guardian Greaves, and probably going to buy the Arcane Boots last. I mean, that makes sense. Actually selling off his Power Treads to go for the Guardian Greaves, and I think that's the right choice. That item will help them push very, very hard. Might be just what they need to close out the game, and Snarf closing in on the Eye of Scotty. In fact, I would say he's probably only about 1,000 gold from it now. It's 5.6k to 4.2. Yeah, he's very close. Only about 700, 800 gold away probably. So Thundercats still in dominating this game. Snarf only one death this entire game. Level 20 ahead of everyone in the game. Highest level, highest net worth. Gen Operation also has 2k. Might try to go for something like a Scythe. more control, bring down this Wind Ranger. She can't. She doesn't have a BKB, and going for one would really hurt them, I think, just like their team as a whole. They need damage, but unfortunately, if they itemize towards it, it's going to be hard. Scotty now completed on Morphling, and since all T2s are up, Thundercats just neglecting buyback entirely, knowing they won't need it probably. This range rack's still low. Looks like Snarf is going to farm the jungle, maybe push out the top lane. Does get spotted out there. Fortunately, the gem back on the Bane, so they must have had it on someone and put it in base, and Bane picked it up. Witch Doctor, 1500 gold from his Ags. This Witch Doctor, very, very poor. Dazzle as well. Bane hasn't had much item progression, but I guess this is a Rada Atos. It could be something different, but I think Atos is probably the play. And now the Morphling almost instantly blowing up the Dazzle. Maybe not the target to go on, but is able to just replicate to safety, go top, and push in with his team. They probably are more than willing to trade this. I really think they're happy to trade this. Because they're gonna get this T3. And now Nightmare on someone, blink back on the Bane. Slardar has BKB. Deathward comes out, Crush. And Doom going to barely, good grave to save the Doom. Doom been dedicated on, who did he Doom? Oh, good Fiend's Grip, outstanding play from Madpiss, and now AA TPing back into the fight, but Snarf getting low, needs to morph up some strength probably, or he's gonna pop to this, and looks like he did want that, and the AA blast catching that kill, or in the AA catching that kill there, could be in Snarf could be in trouble, but they actually managed to pop the Lincolns with what? What did they pop it with? And he's just getting so much health, this Dazzle might go down. He's able to just run away from them forever. Do they have the catch? The Shackle's gonna come out again soon. He has waveform, might turn around. AA Blast coming, yeah, he's gonna turn around on this. Shackle does not lash Lincoln Sphere, but taking a lot of damage from this Wind Ranger. He's slowed up and might finally go down, and yes, he will just barely in the end go down. Roshan up in a minute, and I think after that Thundercats will want to wait till Roshan has respawned before they make another push. Good defense from Classic Joker, and now Zim in trouble as well. Maybe just wants to TP to safety and will do so. Wind Ranger knowing she can't catch him. But huge fight for Classic. They did buy back on the Doom, but who got doomed? I didn't actually even get to see who got doomed. And I'm sorry for that. I failed to catch that. But slight swing back up, and that 20k gold lead Thundercats once possessed, now gone. Roshan up in 1 minute. Fast respawns this game for him. And that fight allowing the Witch Doctor to complete his Death Ward and the Wind Ranger to finish a BKB, so things get a little more difficult for Thundercats. They're definitely going to want to wait for the next Aegis, make the safe play, or smoke up and try to find a pick. The gem finally on the side of these guys. No? Did AA get it? AA managed to grab the gem and escape, so Thundercats doing a good job keeping the gem in the family, so to speak. Roshan up in 5 seconds. Might be just in time for Bane to scout it out, but he turns around and does not check. Roshan now ready. Both of these teams will want this. It could help Classic get back in the game and would help Thundercats close out this match. AA is looking to go a Scythe, it looks like. Snarf just gonna morph back all that strength he had and gets himself a bunch of agility, morphing down to 1 strength actually. Still very tanky. 37 armor, 300 damage, and way too much agility. So his shotgun burst probably does close to 1,000 damage with his W. Yes. 2. The multiplication is 2 times. So yeah, he can 1 combo just about anyone on the enemy team. And Doom actually picking up the AA, and now the gem on deck. Do they see it? They know it's there. They're gonna grab that gem now. Getting a little ahead of himself, but Slardar sees the gem, he wants it, he does not get shackled up, gonna force stab himself away. Wind Ranger Blink still off cooldown and gonna try to catch this Slardar. He has BKB, got the crush, pops the BKB, wants to really get out of here. And once again, Thundercats able to keep the gem in the family. Roshan spotted out by the Viper, and now they're going to go for it. Morphling has a slot available. No, he does not. He has travel boots now. No buyback on him, so they'll probably put it on the Viper. But this Morphling, very tanky, may not need it in the first place. This Roshan dying very fast, but they get scouted out. They know they're going, and they want this fight. Weave up on several heroes. Doom on Bane, so no Fiend's Grip for this fight, although the Guardian Greaves keeping him a little bit healthy. The Death Ward bouncing, but cancelled immediately by the Slardar Crutch, so well played from Carwisland, doing so much damage, but now Viper dead. Morphling trying to finish this off, and is he going to be able to grab the Aegis? Is he going to grab? Who's going to grab it? Oh god! Juggernaut denies the Aegis. Well played, and disastrous Roshan attempt for Thundercats, and this AA Blast is going to catch the Jugs, and he's going to pop, and now it suddenly turns around, and Thundercats able to salvage it from a really good AA Blast. Shiva's Guard comes out, BKB on the Wind Ranger, Morph still able to morph strength if he chooses, but not really doing it as of yet. Lots of damage, and Wind Ranger trying to get that kill, but going to pop, and really what was a good attempt from Classic, and what was they needed. The Aegis being denied definitely helps, but buyback not available on Juggernaut, and just a huge fight from both sides. Really well played, and buyback on the Bane, but ended up not being needed. Still Fiend's Grip available for the next fight if they want to. Huge creep wave pushing in the bot lane. Thundercats might see this and TP the Morphling down. Dazzle buys back to try to defend. Scythe completed on the Ancient Apparition, so even more control from Thundercats, and now things looking harder and harder. AA TPing to mid. They want this tower. They know Juggernaut did just get enough gold from buyback, and they're just going to go for racks instead, so Thundercats know what they want. Fortification available. They have to buy back all these heroes. Thundercats might need to be careful. AA Blast on the way, trying to catch some heroes, and it does not latch on anyone, but they do get one racks. Classic Rose just seeped up, and BKB on the Slardar. Fiend's Grip out. Rose in serious trouble, and now Snarf taking tons of damage from this Death Lord, but canceling it. Morphing to strength, keeping alive, blowing up the Dazzle with his F-Blade, and now Juggernaut just barely able to escape so far. The Cask bouncing between, and now it looks like Veyron going to go down. Snarf gets a double kill. Jugs coming back, buyback on the Witch Doctor, so Thundercats might just want to get out of here. They did get the bot racks from creeps. Doom TPing in, trying to come into the middle of this fight with his Shivas, trying to make some plays. Wind Ranger in trouble. If she dies, no buyback. Doom up on Snarf. He could be in trouble now. There's no Guardian Greaves yet, so Snarf, but stuck morphing strength, so incidentally going to survive, although they don't quite get that ranged racks, and Saltzpyre going to die. Blinks away, but Blinks still, but thanks to the AA Blast going to cancel, and now Bane trying to walk away. The top racks claimed by Morphling, and now he pops his Manta style. Could another fight break out here? They're going to disengage. Very happy with getting two full lanes, getting the racks from top and the ranged racks from bot, so well played from Thundercats. That fight was very close. Valiant defense from Classic, but probably not going to be enough. We check buyback status. No one on Classic has buyback. And all three cores have buyback available for Thundercats. Where's that AA Blast going? Where did he hit? Oh, he just shot at bot. So things looking really grim for Classic now. They're gonna be stuck in their base, and with travels on most of these enemy heroes, gonna have to worry, or it travels on some of these enemies heroes, not most. And honestly, just Morphling having travels is threatening enough so that you know if he goes down there, it could be the end of the game, and he might actually just finish up his Butterfly. Yeah, Morphling finishing off Butterfly. That's really scary, and now things looking very grim. Gonna be even harder to kill, and his burst going to be even higher than it was before. Sitting at over 200 agility. Rose trying to find his way out. Are they going to find him? No, it looks like Rose blinks and TPs to safety, so they won't find Rose, but did create a little bit of space for his team, although Thundercats in no hurry at this stage of the game. AA Blast going to try to kill some of these creeps, I'm guessing. Yeah, gonna pop a couple of those creeps. And Bane de-warding. Needs to be careful, he sees them on the way. And now Wind Ranger might have got a little ahead of herself, gets hit by the Viper Strike, but there's no follow-up yet. Although this Viper very tanky, might just keep going out. Snarf has arrived, and Wind Ranger could be in trouble, gets popped instantly by the shotgun, and Now the Dazzle in danger. Dead 2. No buyback on either of those heroes. This looks like it could be game. Without the Wind Ranger's damage, do they have enough to defend against these 5 ridiculously fed Thundercat heroes? And Snarf, not really afraid of anyone. Juggernaut finishing his Eye of Scotty, so tanky now, but is his damage enough to compete with this Morphling? AA Blast also off cooldown, so no healing in this tower, taking tons of damage, just disappearing, and it looks like this is going to be mega creeps for Thundercats. And Classic Joker might just want to call GG here. That's megas and probably the game, so valiant effort from Classic, but the lanes just weren't, yeah, GG called, and lanes just went too poorly for them, I think. So well played from Thundercats, just Snarf absolutely dominating Rose, trying to get a consolation prize before the game ends, but at the same time Morphling picks someone off and they lose all their heroes, so the game is over. And Thundercats taking this game in a dominant fashion. It was long, but they had an advantage for the entire game, over a 30k gold lead for them, and extremely well played from Thundercats. I look forward to seeing what they pull out next game. This Snarf playing an amazing Morphling, going 18-2, highest GPM in the game by a rather significant amount, and this Ancient Apparition Zim playing very, very well too. The support duo of Thundercats just felt way more impactful than the one on Classic. Their rotations were good, they contributed to team fights, they used their spells very effectively, whereas it felt Classic's support duo was very lackluster. So, looking forward to this next coming game and see if Classic will be able to rally together and tie up the series 1-1, or if Thundercats will be able to finally claim their first 2-0 of the season. We're going to be taking a short break now while the lobby is set up. I'm going to pop. So, good game from Thundercats, really well played, and I'm going to take a short break to get something to drink. Very dehydrated most of that game, it felt like. Once the lobby is up, I'll be moved in, and I will be right back 1 second. Alright, thanks for being patient. I'm back. The lobby is now up, as you can probably see, and we're just waiting for a couple more players to get on their teams, and we'll be getting started. so we're going to be getting started here soon, and hopefully this next game is as good as the last one was. Alright, so it looks like we're waiting on 2 players, and then we can get started. I think for Classic Joker, the AA really hurt them in the draft. I think the Witch Doctor was not the correct pick. It felt very, very low impact. The Death Ward was cancelled, and this wasn't necessarily anything on him, but the Death Ward got cancelled a lot. Just Thundercats were on it with fighting him and popping the Death Ward. The mechanism negated what was supposed to be a really good Death Ward the first time he dropped it at top lane, and the AA Blat on the other side, and even the Dazzle didn't feel terribly impactful. And after the Ancient Apparition, and that wasn't really his fault, I guess, but after the Ancient Apparition pick, that was just a really good pick from Thundercats. A very, very smart draft, and it wasn't just the draft. They didn't just get outdrafted. I think Thundercats outplayed Classic pretty hard that game. Although Classic did take a couple decent fights, it just was too little too late when they finally started being able to win some of these fights, and Thundercats had complete control of the Roche Pit, but a very good deny from Rose on the Roshan. So I look forward to seeing both of these teams play once again, and I'm excited and very curious to see what kinds of drafts they pull out next. I still really want to see like an Earth Spirit or an Oracle, or an Enchantress. I would love to see a Chen or Enchantress, or both. Chen on one team, Ench on the other, the classic Enchantress wars, like the Creep wars, just trade creeps forever. Veyron on my friends list. I don't think I actually have anyone on Classic on my friends list, so I'll have to send an ad to one of these players and send them the bot. Not surprised to see Death Prophet banned out last game, but I wonder if it'll be picked up this game or if it'll just be left, if it'll be banned out again, but I certainly think these teams prioritize the hero. As for supports that Classic might have been able to use a little more effectively, I think the Dazzle was good when he was picked. It's just he got counterpicked, and obviously there was a little bit more to it than that. I think his Graves were a little bit off sometimes a little too early, but he did have some very, very good Graves. Although it felt like he just lost so much usefulness once that AA Blast hit. Like, what was he supposed to do when he couldn't heal enemy heroes? I think instead of the Witch Doctor, they could have gone something like a Lion, and I know it doesn't offer the same kind of AoE or anything, but it gives you some burst. It gives you, it doesn't worry about the AA hitting you with blast. It's like, oh well, we can't heal, but that doesn't matter because I'm just gonna nuke their heroes. And the Morphling was very squishy at times, although getting a very, very fast Linken's to help alleviate that. And it looks like game 2 gonna get underway. So Special Spirit was banned. Spirit Breaker might have been good. They could have got really aggressive on the enemy heroes. Kind of snowballed off that, but we'll see if they maybe take a different approach to the draft here. Thundercats, I wouldn't be surprised if they did kind of the same thing or a similar strategy because it worked so well for them last game, and Thundercats will be on Radiant this time while Classic on the Dire. Classic actually giving first pick to Thundercats once again, but I wonder if that was
Radiant team ban.
a mistake. Because I think it's supposed to be... Oh, well, it doesn't matter, but Vengeful Spirit banned out once again. Again, the hero most popular in the 82L. So not surprised to see her banned out. She also has a very good win rate in this tournament. Classic, thinking a little bit about this. Maybe want to respect ban some heroes of Thundercats. Maybe want to
5 seconds remaining.
just consider... Maybe do what they did last game. Ban out the Death Prophet. Ban out the Voker. Because Thundercats do have first pick. They might grab either of those heroes. And once again, I think Outworld Devourer is just seriously undervalued by a lot of these teams, and they do ban out the Death Prophet, a hero they don't want to deal with, and the hero is certainly very, very good.
Seconds remaining.
Classic Joker may also consider banning out the Slardar. I think the Slardar, I think it was Carwizzle playing the Slardar, had extremely high impact on that hero and played it very well, and it really fit in how Thundercats wanted to play. It was just such a good pick for them. They made it work, and I mean, it was, for a long time, the only hero of theirs that died, but the hero was very, very strong, and the amp damage certainly was felt. And a team that would otherwise have a really hard time taking Roshan got it very quickly and putting that on their Morphling, who's already hard to kill. So, Slardar actually banned out by Thundercats themselves. Even though they have the first pick, I find that a little interesting, but maybe they don't want to play it and they don't want to play against it.
Seconds remaining.
Classic Joker might go for a Respect Man, might go for something standard like the Gyrocopter. Maybe even ban out Dazzle or Witch Doctor themselves.
Reserve time.
Radiant team pick.
So they go with the Respect ban on the Ancient Apparition. Thundercats played that hero very, very well, and it also would allow Classic Joker to pick up the Dazzle again, a hero that they seem to like very much, and without having to worry about its healing being negated. Thundercats open with the Darkseer, a hero that was banned out last series, or last game, and it's very good hero, and they open with their Invoker and Dazzle, so
Radiant team pick.
Classic Joker definitely really likes the Dazzle, and the mid lane going to be very hard. I think Thundercats should grab like an Outworld Devourer. It can lane well against Invoker, but they go for the Witch Doctor instead, so
Radiant
decent
team
pick,
ban.
and both these heroes clearly highly prioritized among these teams, but I really think Thundercats, depending on what mids are banned out next, Outworld Devourer is just a good pick. You have Vac into Eclipse,
10 seconds remaining.
into Sanity's Eclipse, that is, so
5 seconds remaining.
it would give them a lot of team fight, a lot of just... His right clicks are so strong, and he lanes up decently against the Invoker, and Thundercats gonna ban out the Juggernaut, a hero Classic Joker played very, very well last game. So far, I think Classic Joker, I mean, their first two picks feel a lot stronger to me.
5 seconds
Thundercats has some good picks, but the mid lane of Classic Joker should be fine. I mean, if Dazzle carries a TP, he can rotate it and save the Invoker pretty much every time. So going to be really hard to deal with the Dazzle and Invoker together. So, because if Invoker's ever having problems, you just put the Dazzle there. With Ancient Apparition banned, let's see. Slardar gone. And yeah, Classic going to take out the Outworld. That hero would have been very good for them, for Thundercats. And I think Thundercats should ban Oracle. I don't know if Classic Joker play it, but it would be pretty good with them. Although the support duo would lose a lot of killing potential. Actually, Thundercats could pick the Oracle. Lots of burst. The Purge is good. The magic immunity up against this Invoker, very, very good. And his ult is like Shallow Grave on steroids. I would really like to see Thundercats get an Oracle. Plus, there's like a slight synergy with the Vacuum plus the Purge, the small root after the Vacuum. And now that OD is gone, Thundercats could grab a hero such as... Let's see. Well, the Jar Ranger is gone, and I guess they could have used Classic. Could have used it. They do have mostly ranged heroes, so would be kind of annoying, I guess. I think Jar Ranger was banned out last game too.
10 seconds
What
remaining.
heroes could these teams take? Let's see, off lane support.
5
So
seconds
carry
remaining.
mid support. So let's see. Anti-Mage gone. I don't know if that would have been great, but it certainly wouldn't have been bad for Thundercats. And Classic Joker could grab something like, okay, yeah, the Gyrocopter is safe, goes good with the Dazzle, and
Team pick.
if he gets Alacrity'd, lots of damage very quickly. Thundercats need to think about how they want to lane this, because they're gonna have a rough time in the laning stage. Classic already shaping up to have very strong lanes and lots of kill potential.
10 seconds remaining.
5 seconds
See,
remaining.
Thundercats, if they're looking for a mid now, there's still Invoker, or sorry, no, bleh, Shadow Fiend and TA.
Reserve time.
I personally would really like to see a Templar, or not Templar, she would get wrecked. She would get wrecked hard by this Gyro. And kind of hard by this Invoker too. OD gone, Shadow Fiend I like. But Puck also actually very good. The silence on the Dazzle,
Team pick.
and I can't believe I forgot about Puck, but Puck should be okay against Invoker in lane. Shouldn't have to worry about dying. And also good synergy with the Darkseers. So it looks like Thundercats are looking for heroes that synergize with their Vacuum. Classic Joker looking for their offlane and support. I think they could get a hero
10
like a
seconds
Clockwork,
remaining.
get really disruptive in their face. And speaking of disruptive, the Disruptor very good against the Puck. It's hard to get out of the Static Storm when it's sitting right on top of you. So I like this pick. Plus, if he can glimpse back the Jaunt, you can glimpse back a Surged hero. So Disruptor very good. Also, I think can actually cancel Death Ward with Glimpse. So I like this pick a lot, and it's a much better support it's a really good support for Classic Joker, and Thundercats are gonna have a really hard time. I think this game will be harder than last,
10 seconds
just based on the
remaining.
draft. Classic Joker, their draft has a lot more synergies,
5
and their
seconds
draft has a
remaining.
lot more counters to the Thundercats draft this time.
Reserve
Thundercats, Ember Spirit would not be good here. Phantom Lancer might be okay. Gyro doesn't really counter the hero. Invoker doesn't really counter the hero. It's tanky. It gets in the back line. It can split push. Creates a lot of pressure. Can get aggressive early. Although they could also go something like a Medusa. Doesn't actually seem that bad. Considering... But actually Luna, similar to Medusa in the sense like you've got a big team fight ultimate and hit a lot of heroes at once. And I actually really like this because it doesn't care that much about the Disruptors. She's going to get a BKB at some point. And that's when she hits 6, she has lots of kill potential because Classic Joker, the one thing that they have a huge problem with, and it was something they had a similar problem with last game, and I would really like to see them pick up a hero like a Clockwork, or actually Centaur would be great for
5
Classic
seconds
this
remaining.
game. They just don't have that much catch right now. At least this time they have the Glimpse and like a Tornado.
Reserve time.
But even so, I think Rubik might have been not amazing for Thundercats, honestly. And the Faces Void, very good ban from Thundercats. I think that hero would have been awesome for Classic Joker. I would like to see a Centaur or a Clockwork out of Classic. A hero with good catch and a decent laning stage too. Something that will let them get really aggressive on Thundercats. Because if this goes really late, I think Thundercats will win. They have the Witch Doctor ward, they have the Wall, which is just insanely strong late game.
10
Puck doesn't
seconds
scale
remaining.
amazing, but scales decent. It's just Luna will just become Godzilla and be
5 seconds
unkillable when she
remaining.
gets like a Satanic and Butterfly if it goes late enough. So I would really like to see, I guess Tide's pretty good too. AoE. It looks like Classic Joker really wanted a lot of AoE team fight power this game. Thundercats have some really good team fight, and if they want some more, they're looking for their next support. They could grab something greedy like an Enigma. Jungle, give lots of XP to the Witch Doctor Luna, apply pressure. Although Static Storm and Ravage to cancel the Black Hole, so no, not good.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see. More team fight.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Demon. Jakiro might not be bad. I like Shadow Demon a lot, though.
Reserve time.
Okay, that's just me being biased towards Shadow Demon, though. I have no real justification for the Shadow Demon pick.
10
I
seconds
just like the hero
remaining.
a lot. They could go something like a Lion too, get aggressive early, but yeah, Jakiro synergizes great with this Darkseer. Probably should have elaborated a little bit on why I thought Jakiro was good, but it's kind of easy to see. Synergizes with the Darkseer, damage in the Dream Coil, can stop blinks from far away, pushes towers really hard, and actually Thundercats can push pretty well with the Luna, Jakiro, and Witch Doctor heal. So, two very different drafts, I think. Two pretty similar drafts. Both teams want a team fight, and it's just going to be whichever team gets their combo off first. Witch Doctor's going to have to be very, very patient, dropping the Death Ward, to ensure that he doesn't get cancelled by the Ravage or the Static Storm. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Witch Doctor to position himself really well.
Seconds remaining.
So while we're at this screen, I guess I'll introduce the teams.
5 seconds
Starting with
remaining.
Classic Joker, we've got Rose playing the Invoker, Yamp on the Dazzle, Zevestia on the Gyro, Arg on Tidehunter, and Veyron playing the Disruptor. And then we have Zim on the side of Thundercats playing the Jakiro, Snarf, who was our extremely talented Morphling last game, playing the Luna, Saltspire, who was on Viper, playing the Puck, Madkus on the Witch Doctor, and Carwizzle on the Darkseer. We'll see if Thundercats play as well as they did last game, then it's going to be a challenge for Classic. I feel like both of these drafts they have similar strengths, but Classic, I think, has the stronger lanes. Gyro is a better laner than Luna. Disruptor, although more kill potential from the supports on Thundercats, it feels like. You've got the Cask, you've got Ice Path, you've got Dual Breath actually does a lot of damage, plus the Liquid Fire does a lot of damage. Carwizzle is going to be solo. They're doing an aggro try from Thundercats, and I think this is the right play. Run it, like, keep the supports from Classic from rotating, and just, like, go for as many kills as you can get. Like, zone and harass as hard as you can. So I like that a lot, unless
The battle begins.
they're going to be giving this to the Gyrocopter, so Puck got a bounty, whereas Invoker did not, so this lane could be a little difficult for him at the start.
I got a lot of gold riding on this.
Witch Doctor dropping a ward in mid, going to be able to see these heroes rotating up. Actually, they did ping out a ward, so it's probably going to get de-warded immediately from the Dazzle, so very unfortunate. Got spotted out, and that's going to cost Thundercats quite a bit and make mid lane a little bit more difficult. Give Dazzle a small boost of XP and gold. Unfortunate, but thanks to Puck getting the bounty rune, should be okay. Smoke now purchased on the Witch Doctor. They might want to get aggressive very early. Jakiro already trying to zone out these heroes, but it looks like he missed the damage over time component of his Dual Breath. They have to prevent these pulls. They must prevent pulls. Although they can also just pull through here themselves. It looks like that's going to happen. He needs to wait till the creep wave's like right here to do it, but... So this is going to be try v try, and kind of hard to call which one is better off. The damage coming out. Snarf in danger though from huge damage from the rocket barrage, and that's just the strength of the Gyrocopter. Snarf getting hit by that now and could be in danger. Dual Breath. Now Gyrocopter in a little bit of trouble. Jakiro might go down here. Are they going to be able to get him? But Witch Doctor popping that salve, and now Witch Doctor going to go down. Madkus in serious trouble. Got a little greedy and just going to get right clicked down by these supports. And a close fight, but Gyrocopter's damage is too high. They should have waited till they had Lucent Beam. They really, really needed the Lucent Beam before they bothered with that, I think. And now it looks like this is going to be disastrous for Thundercats. Because they have to walk back. So they're going to be behind in levels now. Not to mention Dazzle level 2. Disruptor almost level 2. So things looking very, very bad for Thundercats all of a sudden in their tri-lane. And actually Puck getting harassed up a bit in the mid lane. Still about even with the Invoker, but has his bottle on the way. And in fact, they just move their hero. They just ditch the tri-lane, and this was the right call. Ditch your tri-lane. It failed. Just get your Luna free farm. Because your Darkseer is not going to have a huge issue. Just try not to get anchor smashed, yeah. Trying to juke the anchor smash. So this was the right, I think this was the definitely correct call for Thundercats. Because if they had stayed up there, their tri-lane would have just lost. They'd have to rotate the Puck to get anything, and fortunately Glimpse not long enough range yet, but Carwizzle needs to be a little bit careful. He is level 4 though. No, only level 2. Whereas Gyrocopter, level 3. So things already looking kind of bad for Thundercats, but they may be able to recover, get some stacks in the jungle. The Luna will farm them very nice, and now they're pulling. They need to hold the lane so that she doesn't have to last under tower. Luna's not very good at lasting under tower because of her attack range, thanks to the Lunar Blessing. Carwizzle's positioning himself a bit back, knowing that he could be killed off by this tri-lane. And actually, Puck solo killing the Invoker. I can't believe I just missed that, but this mid lane basically is in serious trouble now. And unfortunately, Dazzle did not have a TP and doesn't have points in grave anyway. So, not able to rotate to save their Invoker. And yet another stack here. And once Luna gets some points in glaives, that will be very easy for her to take. Invisible Jakiro might look to rotate on this Invoker. Puck has Dream Coil now, so Invoker could be in serious danger. Maxing the Illusory Orb. It's just really personal preference, it seems like, on whether you get the Illusory Orb or the Waning Rift. And actually, Darkseer ended up dying to top. I apologize, I missed yet another kill. But they're going in on the Tidehunter, but I don't know if they'll be able to get this. So he's taking a lot of damage and will very likely go down here. Malediction. Lucent Beam cooling down right now. Are they going to be able to get him? He's barely going to survive or pop. And unfortunately, no Lucent Beam to get the last kill to the last hit. And I think that might have been a slight misplay from Thundercats. But it's okay. Forcing Tidehunter back and forcing Disruptor out of lane. So Darkseer will have a little bit more space. Although Gyrocopter level 5. Luna only level 3 still, so these lanes not going really how Thundercats want, although Puck is doing well in his lane. TP coming bot, Tidehunter back in lane now, level 4. Probably gonna go, Disruptor probably gonna go try to stack this or farm this or something. Dazzle being chased off by the creep wave, and Darkseer knows that something must be up here. He has wall now, and they're rotating on this Invoker, but no vision, and he's just going to walk away to safety, so they need to have a ward up here if they want to come from there. Otherwise, they have to come up here. I really think they definitely needed to come from up here, and there's a stack on the Ancients, and with Gyrocopter on their team, that he can clear it over time pretty well. So if Thundercats got that out, that they might be able to steal it. Now, actually, speaking of stealing stacks, and Disruptor could be in a bit of trouble, but should be able to walk away in the end. And Luna trying to farm up this stack that Tidehunter was in the process of stealing. Gets in level 5, he has 2 mangoes and probably his boots now. Should dismantle that into Tranquils. I don't know if I like Tranquils on Tide, but lane's looking really rough for Thundercats right now. This Luna is very far behind. Only level 5. Jaro has called down just about. Actually, still also level 5. But Darkseer almost finding 2 kills. Drop the wall. And Puck will burn to death, jukes that, and just barely able to survive in the end. Sunstrike is not able to be invoked, and Witch Doctor finding the kill bot, so Puck barely evading death there, and at the same time, Thundercats find a kill on the Tidehunter and put Luna ever closer to that ever so important level 6. Speaking of level 6, Gyro now has Call Down. But the supports just feel very underleveled on Thundercats. I mean, they're only like a little bit behind, but still. The lanes just don't feel like they're going that well for Thundercats. They did find that kill, but last hit-wise, they're pretty behind. Gyrocopter is almost completely uncontested. Although it was very smart of them to move their lanes. I know they, like, it was a good attempt on the aggro try, but once that first death happened, it was like, alright, we're done. It's like Luna has, that can't be, okay. So a salve on the way for himself, and then a, going for power treads, so. Luna might get glimpsed back here, gets glimpsed, and probably gonna die. Is there a point in Gush? And unfortunately going to pop to that Disruptor. And this is the issue with everyone going Maledict. I don't know if it would have saved her, but the heal points are very strong, and I feel like people just so greatly undervalue that, and it's a bit of it's a huge mistake in my opinion. The Maledict build, you don't see it very often for a reason. The heal is just, it's a lot bigger than people make it out to be. At least he has 1 point in it. Last game, the Witch Doctor neglects to get a point in it for a very long time. Although given the circumstances, that's fine. You're against an ancient apparition. Healing is really, really reduced. Gyrocopter trying to vote in the call down, but surged out, no glimpse back, and gonna be able to walk out of that just fine. Luna having an extremely difficult game. Puck and Invoker same levels, but Puck behind in last hits. Snarf farming okay, but definitely behind this Gyrocopter, who has yet to die, and I don't think actually is a kill, but yeah, has yet to die and is a level ahead.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's like he's just barely going to be able to TP to safety, and Invoker grabbing a Hand of Midas, trying to build a bigger advantage, get ahead in the game, get some levels.
Tower is under attack.
Luna pressuring this tower, but Titan are on the way. Thundercats have a ward here, so they know when the enemy heroes are coming. No point in kinetic field yet, and I guess that's been working out fine, but I really think he needs to get points in kinetic field. Because otherwise Darkseer, I don't know if they can kill Darkseer without points in kinetic field. They have very limited control on the side of Classic, and within their support duo. Jakiro also still only level 3, so no point in Ice Path. Should probably throw on a Liquid Fire onto that tower to harass it a little bit. Haste Room bot, see who gets it. Tidehunter making an attempt at this ancient stack, and now they know he's there. And missing yet again on the Liquid Fire, or sorry, not Liquid Fire, the Dual Breath, and going to get glimpsed back and just probably lose his life. Might just try to walk away from this though, and maybe gets to TP out. Maybe find his way around, can TP out. I think he needs to TP, yeah. He's gonna die. Oh, just barely able to get away and maybe healed up in the bout. Barely able to survive that, so well played for him. Created a lot of space, and Gyrocopter getting low sound bot. Luna chilling out, might try to go for him, but Gyro just gonna back off, making the right play.
Dire structures are fortified.
Once again, Tide trying to farm up this huge ancient stack. Actually, with max points in Kraken Shell. It'll be slow going with only 2 points in Anchor Smash, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Darkseer getting free farm up top, going to be going a Mechanism as his first item, very standard. They know that this is happening. Do Thundercats want to stop it? This is going to be a massive injection of gold for the Tidehunter. They're smoked up, they're going. Puck is there this time. He has Blink Dagger, so Puck also farmed fairly well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Tidehunter goes down very quickly. And they might just try to take a couple of these ancient creeps, slow down the farm progression. Invoker has very low mana, so can't really contribute that much. Disruptor looking at the Luna. Glimpses back, needs to be careful, but should be fine. No points in kinetic field, can't trap him, and right click him down. Gonna salve up after this for sure. Luna just fine, but item progression feels non-existent on that hero. Although did get the last hit on that tower, so a fair bit of gold. Has her ult up. There is Ravage. Might just turn on this and yeah, actually going to find a kill, maybe two. Ravage popped and instead it's her going to be going down. So very unfortunate, very close, but well played from Classic. Baiting, like the Luna ult will be down for quite a while now. And now Gyrocopter looks to be, he might even be in trouble, but it's actually Carwell that's going to go down. Weave to get some vision, and
Dire's top tower is
unfortunately
under
these yet another hero, but Puck finding the disruptor. So it's going to be up to this Puck to really make space for his team, I think. I would really like to see Thundercats pressuring the Gyro so hard that they can't, that Classic can't contest the Luna. Like, just gank it with your Puck whenever you have Dream Coil. Go up there with your Darkseer, who's already hitting really hard. Go up with your the Darkseer, Jakiro, and Puck should be pressuring this this Gyro really hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like Tidehunter will also be going for Mechanism. Gonna be dealing with the Guardian Greaves this game. Invoker farming up the jungle, has Midas going down in 20 seconds. Luna trying to farm up a stack. She's just so far behind. She has no items at all right now, just boots in a ring. So Luna suffering. 0-2 with only one assist. Her first ult not quite hitting the mark.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's still no point in the Static Storm, and this is the problem with not getting points in the, and just a huge wall, and in fact Darkseer looking to turn this around on the enemy team, but taking too much damage, and Dazzle rotating into heal. Now Puck is there, might look to find a return kill on someone. Just going to get the Disruptor, has Dream Coil ready, and might actually find this guy, yep. Looks like he's in a bit of trouble now. Grave ready. But Grave, not enough mana, unfortunately, and now it looks like they're going to lose 3 heroes at top just for the Darkseer, so far, very good trade for them, and this tower going to be pressured. 2 points in Liquid Fire from the Jakiro, and now this is exactly what I think Thundercats needed to do. They create a ton of space for the Luna. Tidehunter finally finished farming up that stack and claim a tower at top lane. So Luna finally finding a little bit of space to breathe, but still not quite that much farm. Going to TP mid, farm up the lane. So Thundercats finding a little bit of breathing room, maybe trying to hit their stride a little bit. Things starting to look a little bit better for Thundercats, although Luna's still a bit behind. But now a 1k gold lead for Thundercats, basically non-existent. And XP completely even for both of these teams, so a very close game so far. It's going to come down to execution at this point. Ooh, Puck going to probably pop here. Finally getting a point in the wall, but Puck did get out. But was silenced, so could not jump away. Snarf has his ult ready. Might want to wait till level 11 before he uses it, though. And give me 1 second. Someone told me my mic is having some issues, so I'm going to adjust the threshold of the mic. Alright, so hopefully that helps a little bit with the quality of the cast, and I apologize. It seems I have a lot of issues just generally with in-game audio.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gyrocopter looks to be going
Down their structures.
drums, so early game oriented, but I would rather see a Sage and Diasha.
Radiant structures are fireproof. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Now, all the heroes of Thundercats rotating top, but a little late, and someone's getting glimpsed back to base. Good Dream Coil onto the cast to bounce once, twice, and yes, yeah, able to TP to safety perhaps, might pop to the Maledict, and actually yes, does go down to damage over time, so 2 more pickoffs for Thundercats, and things are starting to spiral a little bit out of control. Mechanism now finished on the Darkseer. No tier 1s left for Classic. things are going to get a little bit complicated. Invoker, Thundercats rotating in, Puck in position to blink soon. No Dream Coil yet though. Cask out, gets glimpsed back, but Invoker building a Blink Dagger. Oh, but Puck gets caught in the Static Storm. Good Static Storm, but able to walk out in the end. Ravage is there. They might dedicate to try to get this Puck. Puck gonna go down, it looks like, and yes, we'll go down to the right-click damage, but so it was a trade for the Puck and the... Oh, but Snarf so far out of position. Going to also go down here. His support's not able to get him. I don't really know what he was doing there. No mana for his ultimate, so was not able to pop that to try to find some kills. So 2 huge pickoffs for Classic, only losing their Invoker in the process. Very happy. They would probably be very happy with that trade, because Snarf already extremely far behind. Gyrocopter has something on the way. It's like he drops. And Tide finishing his Blink Dagger, so Thundercats probably a bit behind now. They may have a slight gold lead, but I think they're not in a very good position right now. Things are looking very, very grim for them. Witch Doctor just trying to farm up. Puck finishing his Yules, so Puck at the top of the net worth chart, but this Luna still a little bit behind. Not as far behind the Gyro as she once was. She has found some good farm, but it's still... She needs more. She's going to farm up her own Ancient Stack this time, it looks like. So, haste on the Dazzle. Gets purged off by the Yules, and he's probably going to go down here. Nope. Puck needs to be careful. Maybe they turn this, but Puck, Blink Dagger off cooldown. Pops the Silence, going to shoot the orb out on this Dazzle, and may find the kill here, but misses the orb. Very unfortunate. Heroes now rotating in for Classic. Puck getting glimpsed back, and both teams just going to back off. Darkseer really wants to drop the wall, but they're not really in position. Snarf finds the Gyrocopter. This could be really bad. He could just pop the ult and bring down this Gyro. Yep, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to pop the Gyro very quickly. Team unable to respond. Puck drops the Dream Coil, snaps on the Invoker, but caught in that. Death Ward out now, but Puck's still going to go down here and just pops by that Sunstrike. And not enough damage from the Death Ward, so yet another 1-for-1 trade, and I think Thundercats need to get more than that, especially because it looks like their Witch Doctor might go down here. But Luna there now has some wand charges, might be able to pop another overheal. Huge back wall, outstanding play from Carwizzle, and this is going to turn the fight. Maledict going to pop the Invoker very soon, and now another kill on that for them, and suddenly what looks from just a trade to a really huge swing in momentum here. Thundercats on top of a massive back wall find 3 additional kills after picking off the Gyrocopter, and will be able to pressure this tower. With maxed Liquid Fire, the tower will have a very hard time, as this creep wave is going to die extremely slowly thanks to the attack speed. So Carwizzle cutting the wave, and all lanes pushing out in favor of Thundercats except for the bot lane, but Puck on his way to farm it, and looks like Thundercats are going to be able to claim this tower. No Tidehunter, no Invoker for a while. Ravage not used that last fight. Could have changed things a little bit, and the top tower will pop. Call down committed, but doesn't matter. Spell is an extremely short cooldown, so very well played from Thundercats, able to swing momentum back in their favor, find a really good fight, and their Luna survives, bringing herself a Yasha, so her farm speed going to accelerate quite a bit now. Luna now neck and neck with the Gyro and net worth despite her really bad first 5 minutes of the game. And we're going to look towards their Ancient Stack, and Classic just need to find some farms, find some levels, and build a little bit more of an advantage. And I think one of their issues is actually vision. If we take a look at their vision, they have really poor vision on the map. Classic, that is. Just look at how the minimap is. It's just really not that great vision. So I think that's something that they need to address, although wards may be out of stock right now. Thundercats should utilize their smokes as best they can, and Darkseer finishing up Guardian Greaves pretty quickly too, and this item is going to be really big. Puck in danger. Classic smoked up, but no Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger on the Invoker, but Puck just going to walk away.
Dire's middle tower is
Witch
under
Doctor
attack.
farming up bot lane. He has a smoke, and Thundercats may choose to use it at some point in the near future. So Luna pulling just barely ahead of that Gyrocopter after farming her Ancient Stack, but there is one here. They have a creep launching it and are going to be using the creep stack. Aether Lens now finished on Jakiro, so very long range Ice Path, very long range Dual Breath, and actually Witch Doctor gets picked off by a 4-man gank. Although I think Thundercats is okay with that. I think, you know, they'd rather lose their Witch Doctor than pretty much any of their other heroes.